Ever since I can remember, I have been a boy. I was the only person in my family who would go in with my father and shave with him, and I was the one who they put in the go-karts, my older brothers, and motorcycles. And when I was 8 years old, I came to the conclusion and walked up to my father and I said, "Something's wrong here. I'm supposed to be a boy." And he had this most perplexed look on his face and never said a word, not ever. So we never discussed it again for many, many years. And you know, as I got older, I realized that I liked girls, but I knew that I was supposed to be with a man because I was a woman, and that was what was expected of me. But so I always had a boyfriend and a girlfriend, always. And that seemed perfectly normal to me. And I had a lot of people in my life that kept telling me, "You need to be more feminine." And they would try, and my sister would chase me around with tweezers to get my eyebrows and try to put makeup on me, and I'd be running out the front door, and my dad would just say, "Leave Ari alone. The blue jeans and t-shirts are fine," you know. But you know, as I got, you know, out of high school, I did have my first girlfriend in high school, but when I got out of high school and I went to college, one of my best friends, Sean, he was gay, he had already come out, and he was showing me pictures of muscle magazines, and, "Oh, don't you think how cute this guy is?" And I was thinking to myself, no, but you know, that girl over there is, and that's, within a couple of months he told me about the gay and lesbian youth group that we had here in Tucson in the 80s. And so I went along with him, and I thought it was really neat, but I didn't really know if I quite fit in there because it was just gay and lesbian at the time. But I did meet my future husband there, and I stuck with it, and through that youth group came Wingspan, and that's another story. But still, there wasn't much of the trans community. And throughout the fighting, I mean, every time I tried to be the boy, someone else tried to make me the girl. And it was just very, very frustrating. And after a relationship with a woman whom I have an 18-year-old daughter with, when things didn't work out, I ran away to Virginia to find myself. And right before that had happened, I went to Antigone's and I saw this wonderful book called Body Acme by Lauren Cameron. And it showed trans bodies. And something really, really clicked in my head. So when I moved to Virginia, I started doing a lot of research. And I found that there was a lot of other people like me, and I was just elated. And I had hair down to here, long nails, looked very, very feminine, and came home and told my family I was going to transition. And they're like, "But you look so good. You look so nice as a woman." And I said, "This is a mask. This is what you want me to be." So I went back to Virginia, and I decided I wanted to transition in Tucson. I wanted to be part of the Jewish community I had always been a part of, and I missed it because in Virginia there's a really small one. And I had always been part of the Jewish community here since nursery school, Anshai, THA, everything. And so I really, really missed it. When I came back, right before I wrote to Wingspan, and they told me about the Southern Arizona Gender Association and a group called Desert Boys. And I joined that, and my transition fell into place. And I have to say, by, you know, Hashem's will, my dates fell into place, the funding, and I went to my dad and I said, "Look, this is what I'm going to do," after everybody was over the shock. And I said, "But I need help with my funding." And he goes, "Will this make you finally happy?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Where do I sign?" So he helped me do that, and within 11 months I had my surgeries, and I was able to be me. And the other part was in the synagogue. I'm at Chavarim as well, and with Rabbi Stephanie's counseling, we decided that we were going to have a male naming, and we were going to, you know, have just something there for me as soon as I was done with my transition. But I got a Hebrew name, but I was not allowed to have it until my transition was done. But my dad kept asking, "When can I call you Ari? When can I call you Ari?" But he's like, I'm like, "Not until we're done." Well, the congregation was so awesome that the president of the time, Sheila, she said, when you want us to use male pronouns, we will. They changed the bathrooms to make them gender neutral. They changed what makes a family in the bylaws. Everybody was so loving and open-minded. And when finally everything was done and I got my name, it was an incredible night. We had people from all over, Christians, Jews, just everybody. And I can't remember everything. I was so high that night, I can't tell you. But it was such an amazing feeling. And somebody later afterwards, a couple of people came up and said, we wish we could have this in our church or our congregation. This is amazing. But one of the cute things was that one of my friends was sitting next to this elderly gentleman, and he had looked at her and said, isn't he kind of old to be getting his name? And she doesn't skip a beat. And she goes, well, he was born a woman, now he's a man. And the guy goes, and his family's here to support him. How nice, And what I want to leave you with is my dad, and I mean literally 2 days after I got my name, he said, here's the keys to my truck, go to the dump. I'm like, okay. And then 2 days after that, the roof was leaking, and he said, please go tar the roof. I'm like, I don't know how to tar the roof. He said, read the directions, that's what men do. So he has been my biggest support, and the congregation has been, amazing. And they I don't even know why, but they made me co-president of the synagogue. So I just feel the love in the Jewish community, and I also have been part of the Jewish Inclusion Project. And they told me that because it was the Gertrude Stein before the Jewish Inclusion Project, and I came in right after. And I want to thank this project. It has been absolutely amazing, and I hope you all support it.